And these parcels would arrive into the parish of Tomáseen in a willow basket that overhung the front wheel of the postman's 30-year-old bicycle. He'd been riding it around the parish for 30 years. He was known as Davy the Post, the whistling postman. And Davy the Post was a man you would notice. He was a bachelor also, but maybe 55 or 60 years of age. And he had a snow-white, carefully waxed, handlebar moustache, so long that it curled up behind his ears. And if there's a word of a lie in what I'm telling you, it wasn't me that put it there. That moustache was the same shape and almost the same size as the handlebars of the old bicycle. He had also been blessed by the good Lord with two of the bushiest eyebrows ever to adorn any human face. And not only were they bushy, but they were exceedingly agile, almost Olympian in their agility. He was known as the whistling postman, so when he would be whistling, and he was whistling always, those two eyebrows would be running all over his face like two small mice chasing each other. In addition to the eyebrows, he had what I can only describe as ear brows. Oh, like little willow trees coming out. But apart from the ear brows and the eyebrows and the handlebar moustache, he was completely bald. My grandmother was inordinately fond of him. She said, for he was a man that had shaken off the chains of logic. When you'd meet him on the road, he would stop the bicycle, whistle a tune for you, and you'd see the two eyebrows running all over his face. And at the end of the tune, he would cycle off without ever having said a word. And my grandmother said he had no need for words. She said, because when he was whistling, he exerted such exquisite control over those two eyebrows that he was capable of expressing himself with them in complete compound sentences. Subject, object, noun, and verb. But in account of he being a bachelor and Bridget of the Birds being a widow woman, my grandmother was always trying to matchmake them. But there were impediments to the romance, as there often are. And the chief impediment in this case was that, as they put it so delicately in Ireland, Davy was fond of the drop. Fond of the bottle. One drink was too many and half a dozen not enough. Although, as he used to say himself, it took only one drink to make him happy. But he often had to have 4 or 5 or 6 drinks before arriving at that one that would make him happy. Despite being one of the few people, I think maybe the only person at that time in our area who had a steady income from his job as the postman, everyone else was a small farmer. With Davy, as with everyone else, it was always low tide in the pocket. Never 2 brown pennies to rub together. For as he said himself, he spent half his money on drink, and the other half he spent foolishly. Our house was the second last house on his round. Bridget of the Birds was the last house, and every Christmas Eve, without fail, he would call in to Bridget of the Birds when he'd have a drop too much taken and propose marriage to her. But as Bridget of the Birds put it, he was the most exasperating kind of man. She said, for no matter how many times she told him, and no matter how many ways she found of telling him, he just would not take yes for an answer.